Hello, everyone, and welcome to pretty much my first podcast for TTA. So, today we're going to be discussing US Open favorites, the best round one matches in the US Open, and also we're going to have the fight for the TTA Finals, who are going to be the top 8 players that will reach the TTA Finals. That's going to be very interesting. So, first off, we already know the main draw, and I just want to go through a few of the favorites, which you might see go to the final and probably win. So, first off, I want to start with Julio Pax, obviously, who just won Roland Garros, win over Limit in the final. He did make the quarterfinals of the last hard court tournament, as you know, US Open on the hard courts. Um, his total record on hard courts, though, it's 4-2. So not the best, but he is the top seed and he is one of the best in the game. So let's look at his draw. Round one against probably against Pato. That should be, I think, a pretty easy win. But Pato is could be tough. Then round two against Karim or Dave. I don't even know who's gonna win that one. That's gonna be a close one, I think. But Jox should win pretty easily as well. Then to the quarterfinals, you might see Silby, Cook. I think those two are one of the favorites to make the quarterfinal in that one. But yet again, Julio Pax, I think, should make the semifinals. And from there is when you're going to see Yo or Mixie. And I think we all know it's going to be probably one of those. And very likely it's going to be Mixie again. And we know what happened last time when Julio Pax and Mixie have met, because it was the Roland Garros semifinals, which took the record away for longest match, 43 minutes and 57 seconds. So that's going to be the first real challenge, in my opinion. But it's going to be a very good one if we do get a repeat of the semifinal. But obviously, we do want maybe a surprise, maybe Yo, maybe. Who do we have? Red. I don't know. He doesn't really play much, but Red could be good sometimes. So yeah, that is the top half. Next up, I want to talk about the second favorite. You have Limit. He won actually won a tournament on the hard courts, the Cincinnati Open title 500 event, and he is 7-1 on hard courts. So I think he is gonna be the main favorite for this one because he seems to be very suited to the courts. So let's look at his run, potential run, projected draw. Round one against OG Trimix. Trimix is not bad himself. He lost to Silby in his last tournament in 4 sets. So could be a good one, but I think the limit will come through. Then you have either Mixie Jr. or Beck. I think another comfortable one for limit to take. But then the quarterfinals is where it really gets spicy because you have names such as Serialers, Euros, and then you have Robot as well. That part of the draw is insane, honestly, insane. Uh, and I do want to talk about Pat actually, Serialers. He does have loads of forfeit losses. We know that, but he is still one of the top favorites to take this one. He hasn't reached quarterfinals at any of the last 3 tournaments because he did lose forfeit in all 3, I think. But he is 7-1 total record. He only lost one match, 2025 onwards. But yeah, he didn't. He actually hasn't played any hardcore tournaments, any hardcore tournament matches this year. So very tough round one match against Euros. We all know that. That's gonna be one of the best round one matches you're gonna see. So yeah. On to the next one. Who do I want to talk about? Mixie. I think we all know he does have the most season wins. He is 8-1 on hard courts. He does have the Belgrade Open trophy, Cincinnati semifinals, and his only hardcourt loss actually came to Limit in the Cincinnati Open semifinals, and that was in 5 sets. That was a very, very close match. And then let's touch a bit on Robot as well because he is one of the underdogs in this one. But that round two match, possible round two match against Pat or Euros, that's going to be very tough. He is very inconsistent against the top players. If I look at the stat, the robot in his matches against top five ranked players, he he had four matches against them and he lost all four. But he could produce surprises. Who knows? That's gonna be interesting. And then the last one I want to touch up on is gonna be Yo, where where is he? He's right here. Round one against Rokos, possible round two against Ivy or Red. Should be doable. But then you have the quarterfinal against Mixty. Could be a rematch there on that one. Yo is 5-2 on hard courts. He did make the Cincinnati Open semifinals. Could produce the surprises. And we could see the rematch against Mixty. Okay, moving on. I want to touch up on some of the best round one matches actually in this one. And first off, it's going to be this one here, Cook against the 7 seed Silvi. Because this one is a rematch they faced before. It was the Cinch Championships round two match. And Silva actually won that one after being 2 sets to 1 down against Cook. He won it in 5 sets. But we know Cook already always has entertaining matches. And he already always has close matches. So I think that one's going to be one which many players will have their eyes on because that's also going to be impact the fight for the TTA Finals. So yeah, Silby Cook, one to watch out for, round one. Ne- Next one is going to be Q Football against Nico Dem. Despite being unseeded, Nico Dem, I think he does stand a chance against Q because Q's playstyle is very defensive. It doesn't really work on the blue courts, and we have seen that because his record on hard courts, it's 2 wins and 2 losses. So this one, we could see a major surprise in this one. We could see Nico Dem going into round two. So probably one to watch out for because Nico Dem in his last hardcore match, he did take a set against the second seed player, and that player did go on to reach the final. So it's gonna be very interesting. And then the last one, last major one I think, is obviously Pat against Euros. How can you not talk about this one? Is that gonna be the third meeting between these two players? One of them was a walkover for Euros, but the other one was a 5 set match in Mutua Madrid Open. And Euros in that one nearly came back to win from 2 sets to love down. That would have been insane, but Pat just about finished it 6-3 in the fifth set. Euros is known to get one of the worst draws, and I did laugh, but it is what it is, to be honest, because he does get one of the toughest draws again. But can he produce the surprise is the question. And then you have the possible round two against Sorbo, possible quarterfinal against Limit. Very, very tough draw for all players in that part. And just some brief mentions. We have Nico playing his first tournament unseeded. He's gonna be up against Chicken. Nico, last time around, he did face Chicken last tournament, and Chicken did win pretty easily. Could there be a repeat of that same stuff, or can Nico balance the head-to-head and win this one? Round two, possible round two against Finity against Jesse, which I want to touch up on as well. Finity reached the quarterfinals of Roland Garros, but Jesse is a tough opponent. That's gonna be a good one as well. Right, and now just a little break, but then I want to touch up on the TTA Finals 5 because that one's gonna be very interesting. It's the last chance for players. The season's drawing to the end. This is going to be the last chance for players to secure their top 8 ticket to the TTA Finals. And the fight is going to be interesting because there's not many points in it. But I think I can start with the obvious players that have already pretty much secured their ticket to the TTA Finals. And that's going to be the top 4. You're looking at Julio Pax, Limit, Lesio, and Mixi, all pretty much safe with over 1,000 points, which that should be way more than enough to make the top 8 after this tournament. And then you have Q former world number 1. It's crazy, he has dropped 4 places since then, but any early round 1 slip, that could possibly bring him down a few spots, and he could be in danger to drop out. But I think at 699 points he stood before the live rankings here, I think he should be fairly safe because he is around 400 points ahead of ninth place you're looking at. Moving on, you have Serial Lairs, pad 6th place. He did look very confident to reach the TTA Finals early season, but he has slipped down to 6th right now. Possible round 1 loss to Euros, that could put him right in danger. He could be right in the danger zone. We might see him not come into the TTA Finals. Who knows? And then Yo is the next one. I don't think many people expected Yo to be this far up, but Cincinnati semifinals, Roland Garros quarterfinals, his rank was really boosted up, and he's up to 7th place. And I think with the draw he has right now, I think he can make quarterfinals yet again, and I think that should be fairly enough to make the top 8, because quarterfinals obviously only 8 players. But depends. It all depends on results elsewhere. They have to go his way. Silbai was 6th at one point. He is now 8th. He is the last player currently in the TTA Finals. He's been a constant seeded player at tournaments. But wow, he's the last one set to go into the TTA Finals currently. But round 1 match against O Cook, that's gonna be very tough. And as I said, all players will have will have to keep their eye on that one, because it will very much impact the TTA Finals participants. The first one in the red zone, below the red zone, is Finity in 9th place. He did gain loads of places in Roland Garros. He made the quarterfinals. Can he deliver quarterfinals again is the question. And if you're looking at the draw, round 1 against Jesse, possible round 2 against Nico or Chicken, it's tough. It's going to be very tough. But he definitely has what it takes, and he could produce a surprise and head into the top 8. I want to talk about Nico here, 11th place currently. I don't know what happened, because he was seeded at all the tournaments. He's no longer seeded because he has dropped outside the top 10. Round 1 match against Chicken rematch there. If he loses that one, he's out. And you wouldn't expect that, because Nico was consistently in the top 8. Only last tournament he dropped to 11th, which no one saw coming, to be honest. Will it be over for the Italian number 1? We're gonna have to wait and see. Let's give some mentions to other players as well. Robot 13th. Very tough draw though. That possible round 2 match against Patter Euros. But if he can produce the surprise, he's well in the fight as well. Only 160 points or so. 180 actually. But he is right there. He can definitely still go into it. Jesse as well. He can pretty much do the same. Euros, if he can do the surprise, he would have. It's just that limit quarterfinal. I think it's too late for Euros to do anything on that one. Cook, if he can beat Silbai, he would then have Rantam or Goff, but then again quarterfinals. So it's very tough draws for these players, because all the seeds, pretty much only this part is pretty much kind of open. Nico Dem maybe, Rojo, qualifier, who knows, maybe a dream run to the final and he's in the top 8. So literally anything can still happen, because there's not that many points. You're looking at eighth place, 442. The tournament, if you win it, it's 1,000 points. If you make the final, it's 600 points. They're all still in with a chance, pretty much. Everyone's in with a chance. So it's going to be very, very interesting. So I think the TTA Yap for today is over. But thank you for listening. And I want to hear your thoughts as well. What do you think? Who's going to be the 8 players in the TTA Finals at the end of this tournament? Thank you for watching. Bye, guys.